Did you realize that consuming specific foods for breakfast after turning 60 could potentially harm your health without you even noticing? While breakfast is often hailed as the most important meal of the day, for seniors, it can also pose significant risks if the wrong foods are chosen. In this video, we will reveal 6 popular breakfast foods that many older adults consume daily, unaware of how these foods may be depleting their energy, straining their organs, or increasing their risk of chronic diseases. These foods are not exotic or unusual. In fact, they are frequently marketed as healthy, light, or classic by the brands that sell them. However, their effects on the body, particularly in older individuals, are far from benign. Stick with us until the end, because we will not only tell you what to avoid, but also explain why these foods are particularly harmful after 60, how they affect your heart, brain, and digestion, and what healthier alternatives you can choose that still taste good and keep you feeling satisfied and stable throughout the morning. Whether you are 60, 70, or even 80 years old, the food you select at the start of your day has a profound impact. It can either energize you or leave you feeling drained. It can enhance your memory or leave you feeling foggy by lunchtime. It can help regulate your blood pressure or cause it to spike before you even leave the breakfast table. Let's delve into the 6 common breakfast foods that older adults should reconsider starting today. Number 1. Sugary cereals and granolas. A common breakfast habit among older adults is to quickly pour a bowl of cereal, especially those labeled as whole grain, lightly sweetened, or heart healthy. However, many of these cereals are packed with added sugars and processed carbohydrates that can quietly wreak havoc on an aging body. The issue isn't just the sugar listed on the label, it's also the type of carbohydrates that rapidly break down into sugar shortly after eating. Starting your day with a high glycemic cereal causes your blood sugar to spike quickly. While this might give you a temporary energy boost, it is often followed by a crash, leaving you feeling tired, shaky, irritable, or craving more carbs by mid-morning. Linda, a 68-year-old retired teacher who loves starting her day with a bowl of granola topped with honey and fresh fruit. She believed it was a healthy choice because the packaging emphasized whole grains and natural ingredients. However, Linda began experiencing frequent energy slumps and increased fatigue. Her doctor suggested she try a different breakfast for a few weeks. Linda switched to a breakfast of scrambled eggs with spinach and a slice of whole grain toast. To her surprise, she noticed a significant improvement in her energy levels and felt more focused throughout the morning. She realized that the high sugar content in her granola was causing her blood sugar to spike and crash, leaving her feeling drained. Another hidden danger in many cereals and granolas is the presence of added preservatives, artificial flavors, and sometimes even hydrogenated oils to improve texture or shelf life. These ingredients can increase inflammation, which is particularly concerning for older adults who may already be dealing with conditions like arthritis, high blood pressure, or memory issues. Even granolas that appear natural can be misleading. Many are baked with syrups and honey blends that create clusters, but also deliver more sugar than a donut. A small handful might be fine, but most people pour a bowl, top it with fruit or sweetened yogurt, and unknowingly start the day with 40 grams of sugar before they've even gotten dressed. The situation is more serious for older adults due to changes in metabolism after 60. Insulin resistance often increases and digestion slows down. The body becomes less efficient at handling sugar, and the pancreas has to work harder to keep blood glucose in check. That's why something that seemed harmless in your 40s can suddenly feel like a drag on your energy in your 70s. The solution isn't to give up breakfast, it's to change what's in your bowl. Opt for unsweetened oats, plain yogurt with berries, boiled eggs with whole grain toast, or even savory options like avocado. These choices can keep you full and energized without causing your blood sugar to spike and crash. Because the way you start your morning doesn't just affect the next few hours. It impacts your long-term health, energy levels, and independence. If you've been feeling more tired lately despite sleeping well, or you experience a crash after breakfast without knowing why, your cereal box might be the first place to look. Number 2. Processed breakfast meats, like bacon and sausage. Bacon, sausage, and ham are staples on many breakfast tables across America, and for good reason. They smell great, taste even better, and have been part of traditional breakfasts for generations. However, for seniors between 60 and 80, starting the day with processed meats can quietly take a toll on the heart, blood vessels, and overall longevity in ways that often go unnoticed until it's too late. These meats are high in saturated fat and sodium, two things that put added stress on the cardiovascular system, especially as we age. Saturated fats can raise LDL cholesterol, the type that clogs arteries and increases the risk of heart attack or stroke. Meanwhile, the sodium content in just 2 strips of bacon or 1 sausage patty can be enough to spike your blood pressure for the entire morning. And that doesn't even account for the preservatives. Most of these meats are cured with nitrates or nitrites, compounds used to preserve color and shelf life. But once digested, these compounds can form substances called nitrosamines, which have been linked to inflammation, insulin resistance, and an increased risk of certain cancers. For older adults who may already have a sensitive digestive tract, weaker kidneys, or a family history of heart disease, this kind of chemical exposure becomes particularly risky. Consider the story of Robert, a 72-year-old retired engineer who enjoyed a breakfast of bacon and eggs every morning. He had always associated this meal with energy and satisfaction. However, Robert started experiencing high blood pressure and occasional chest pains. His doctor advised him to reduce his intake of processed meats. Robert decided to replace bacon with smoked salmon and added a side of avocado and tomatoes. Over time, he noticed a decrease in his blood pressure readings and felt more energetic. He also appreciated the new flavors and variety in his breakfast routine. The issue isn't just about fat, it's about how the body processes food differently after 60. The kidneys become less efficient at filtering out excess salt, blood vessels become more sensitive to cholesterol buildup, and the metabolism slows down, meaning those dense, greasy foods sit longer in the digestive system, making you feel heavier, more tired, and sometimes even foggy by midday. And for many, these foods don't just appear once in a while, they are daily habits. A few strips of bacon here, a breakfast sandwich there, sausage with pancakes at the diner. It all adds up. The problem isn't having them occasionally, it's that the routine feels normal, even though the body is struggling behind the scenes to recover from the daily load. A better option? Try lean protein swaps like grilled turkey slices, plant-based breakfast patties, or eggs paired with fiber-rich vegetables. Even something as simple as a slice of whole-grain toast with almond butter offers more lasting fuel than processed meat ever could. Because when you're older, your breakfast isn't just a meal, it's medicine. It either helps your body recover and stay strong, or it makes your system work harder than it needs to. And when you start making small changes, even one food at a time, you begin giving your body the support it's been asking for all along. Number 3, white bread and refined pastries. White toast, pancakes, bagels, and those tempting muffins at the coffee shop might seem like harmless breakfast choices, especially when paired with coffee and a little jam. But if you're between 60 and 80, these refined carbs are quietly working against your energy, digestion, and long-term blood sugar stability. What makes white bread and pastries risky isn't just the flour, it's how quickly it turns into sugar. These foods are made with highly processed white flour, which has been stripped of fiber, nutrients, and the natural bran that slows digestion. The result? When you eat them, your blood sugar spikes almost immediately, triggering a release of insulin that often overshoots, leaving you feeling tired, irritable, or hungry again soon after. And that roller coaster effect isn't just uncomfortable, it's dangerous. Over time, repeated spikes and crashes can wear down the body's ability to regulate insulin. For older adults, that means an increased risk of prediabetes, type 2 diabetes, or worsening glucose control for those who already have it, all from what seemed like a light breakfast. Take the case of Susan, a 65-year-old who adored her morning routine of a toasted bagel with cream cheese. She loved the taste and convenience, but often felt sluggish and bloated afterward. Her nutritionist suggested she try a breakfast of oatmeal topped with nuts and berries. Susan was hesitant at first, but decided to give it a try. She was amazed at how much more sustained her energy levels were throughout the morning. The fiber in the oatmeal helped her feel full longer and improved her digestion, making her feel lighter and more comfortable. Another hidden problem with pastries is that they are often baked with trans fats, even if the label says 0 grams. That's because regulations allow for small amounts to be rounded down. These fats linger in the bloodstream, raise bad cholesterol, and increase inflammation, especially in older arteries and joints that are already sensitive with age. And even for those who think, I just have a little, the impact can build. A biscuit at breakfast, a Danish from the senior center, a few bites of leftover toast. It might not feel like much, but over time, these small daily choices can influence how you feel, how steady your energy is, and how well your brain and heart function day to day. Better swaps aren't about denying yourself. They are about fueling yourself better. Choose whole grain or sprouted bread that actually has fiber. Top it with something that gives you healthy fat and protein, like natural peanut butter, cottage cheese, or a poached egg. Or go savory with tomato slices, avocado, or hummus. These options digest more slowly, keep your blood sugar even, and help you feel clear, not cloudy. Because breakfast isn't just about getting full, it's about setting the tone. And when you feed your body what it truly needs, it pays you back in energy, clarity, and resilience throughout the day. Number 4, flavored yogurts with hidden sugars. Yogurt often gets a health halo, especially the flavored kind that claims to support digestion, boost protein, or offer a light start to the day. But for seniors trying to eat smarter, most of these products are not as harmless as they seem. In fact, starting your morning with sweetened yogurt can quietly undermine your energy, gut health, and efforts to manage weight or blood sugar. What many people don't realize is that even small containers of flavored yogurt often contain more sugar than a slice of cake. Some have upwards of 20 grams in a single serving, and that's before adding any fruit or granola. That sugar spike doesn't just flood your bloodstream. It forces your body to work harder to bring levels back down, which can leave you feeling tired or hungry just an hour or two later. And it's not just table sugar. Many of these yogurts use fruit syrups, concentrated juices, or artificial sweeteners that confuse the gut. For older adults, the digestive system is more sensitive than it used to be. The balance of bacteria in the gut, what we now know as the microbiome, plays a big role in everything from mood to immunity. And when that balance is thrown off by too much sugar, the effects ripple out. Let's talk about Michael, a 70-year-old who enjoyed a daily serving of flavored yogurt, believing it was a healthy choice. However, he often felt hungry soon after breakfast and experienced regular bloating. His doctor recommended switching to plain Greek yogurt and adding his own toppings like sliced almonds and fresh fruit. Michael found that this change not only reduced his bloating, but also kept him feeling full and satisfied for longer periods. He also appreciated the control over the amount of sugar in his breakfast. Another issue with many store-bought yogurts is the use of thickeners and stabilizers like carrageenan or modified cornstarch. These are added to create that creamy texture, but they don't support your health. In fact, they can irritate the gut lining in some people and reduce the absorption of nutrients, something seniors can't afford to lose. And even when yogurt is labeled low-fat or light, it often just means more sugar has been added to make up for lost flavor. This trade-off might look good on the calorie count, but inside your body, it causes stress that lingers far beyond breakfast. If you enjoy yogurt, you don't need to give it up. You just need to take control of what's in it. Choose plain Greek or unsweetened yogurt and add your own fruit, nuts, or a drizzle of honey if needed. That way, you're feeding your body probiotics, protein, and nutrients without the sugar spike or chemical overload. Because the right kind of breakfast doesn't just fill your stomach, it builds your foundation. And when you start your day nourishing your gut and brain instead of stressing them, you feel the difference not just in your energy, but in your clarity, mood, and peace of mind. Number 5, fruit juices that seem healthy but spike blood sugar. For decades, fruit juice has been seen as a healthy breakfast choice, especially orange juice. It's bright, refreshing, and loaded with vitamin C. But for older adults, that glass of juice can quietly behave more like soda than fruit and set off a chain of effects that strain the body instead of helping it. The biggest issue is how juice strips away fiber. When you eat an orange, the fiber in the pulp slows down how quickly sugar enters your bloodstream. But when you drink orange juice, even the 100% kind, you're getting all the sugar with none of the fiber. That leads to a sharp spike in blood glucose, something that's especially risky after 60 when insulin sensitivity starts to decline. There's also the volume problem. You'd never sit down and eat 4 oranges in one go, but that's about how many it takes to make a single cup of juice. That means more sugar, more calories, and more work for your pancreas to keep things stable. For someone already dealing with borderline blood sugar or managing diabetes, this daily habit, though well-intentioned, can quietly push numbers in the wrong direction. Consider the experience of Patricia, a 77-year-old who started her day with a glass of cranberry juice, thinking it was a healthy choice. However, she often felt lightheaded and noticed her energy levels dipping mid-morning. Her nutritionist suggested she switch to eating whole fruits and drinking water. Patricia decided to have a small bowl of mixed berries and a glass of water instead. She noticed her energy levels became more stable, and she no longer experienced the mid-morning slumps. She also enjoyed the natural. And while orange juice gets most of the attention, other juices like cranberry, apple, and grape are often worse. They contain even more sugar, and many brands add sweeteners on top of what's already there. Some light or reduced sugar juices sneak in artificial additives that don't support gut health or digestion, especially for those with sensitive stomachs or slow-moving bowels. What's important to understand is that fruit itself isn't the problem. It's the processing. When you blend, strain, or concentrate fruit into a liquid, you change how the body responds. You remove the natural checks and balances that protect your energy, your insulin levels, and even your hunger cues. And for seniors trying to stay sharp, steady, and well-hydrated, that matters. The better option? Stick to water, herbal teas, or infused water with lemon, cucumber, or berries for flavor. If you enjoy fruit, eat it whole. A small apple or a few orange slices give you the sweetness you crave with fiber that keeps you satisfied longer and protects your blood sugar from spiking. Because the goal isn't to remove sweetness from your life, it's to enjoy it in ways that support your body, not surprise it. And starting your day with stable energy is one of the best gifts you can give yourself, especially as you age, with strength, not struggle. Number 6. Butter-heavy or fried breakfast items. For many people in their 60s, 70s, or beyond, breakfast isn't really breakfast without something warm, crispy, or comforting, like buttered toast, fried eggs, or even a side of hash browns from the skillet. While these meals can feel satisfying in the moment, the way they are prepared, especially when loaded with butter, oil, or frying fat, can quietly weigh down your body in ways that last long past breakfast. As we age, digestion naturally slows. The stomach produces less acid, the gallbladder becomes less efficient, and the metabolism doesn't process fats the way it once did. That means a meal heavy in saturated fats like buttery biscuits, fried potatoes, or eggs swimming in oil takes longer to digest, causes more strain on the liver, and often leads to a sluggish, heavy feeling that lasts for hours. Thomas, an 80-year-old who loved his traditional breakfast of fried eggs and buttered toast. Despite his love for this meal, he often felt heavy and sluggish afterward. His doctor recommended he try a breakfast of poached eggs with a side of roasted vegetables and a slice of whole grain bread with olive oil. Thomas was surprised at how much lighter and more energetic he felt after making the switch. He also enjoyed the new flavors and the variety in his breakfast, which made him feel more satisfied and less weighed down. The issue with frying isn't just about fat. When oils are heated to high temperatures, especially reused or unstable ones, they break down into compounds that increase inflammation in the body. For older adults already dealing with arthritis, joint pain, or cardiovascular concerns, this can quietly add fuel to the fire, literally. And while butter isn't inherently evil, it's often overused. One pat becomes two, a bit on toast becomes a base for the pan, and when combined with other high-fat items, cheese, bacon, creamy sauces, it becomes a load that the body wasn't built to handle daily, especially in the morning, when the body's trying to wake up and stabilize. It's not about cutting out warm or savory breakfasts, it's about lightening them. Eggs can be poached or soft-boiled, toast can be brushed with olive oil instead of butter, potatoes can be roasted with herbs instead of fried in grease. These small changes preserve the flavor while dramatically reducing the inflammatory burden. Because the food you eat at sunrise doesn't just set the tone for the day, it sends a message to your heart, your brain, and your gut. That message can either be, "I'm going to take care of you," or "You're on your own." And for those of us who want to stay independent, strong, and mentally sharp well into our later years, choosing the lighter path in the morning may just keep everything else working a little smoother. As we conclude today's video, take a moment to reflect on your breakfast choices and how they make you feel. Do you feel alert and energized, or do you experience bloating, fatigue, and an urge to sit down before your day even starts? Breakfast can be a gentle gift or a heavy burden, especially after 60. Your body now craves foods that help stabilize blood sugar, reduce inflammation, and keep you energized and focused. The popular breakfast options we discussed, sugary cereals, processed meats, white bread, sweetened yogurts, fruit juices, and butter-heavy dishes, may no longer serve your health. These foods often lead to energy spikes and crashes, leaving you feeling sluggish and weighed down. They can also contribute to inflammation and other health issues. While they may be convenient or nostalgic, they may not align with your current body's needs. The solution is simple. Make small, thoughtful swaps. Replace juice with water and whole fruit. Choose eggs with greens over sausage. Opt for whole grains instead of white bread. These changes are not about restriction, but about supporting your body and enhancing your well-being. Aging well is about making choices that help you maintain your vitality and independence. The right breakfast doesn't just satisfy hunger, it fuels your day and supports your long-term health. We'd love to hear from you. Share one takeaway from this video and how you plan to apply it. Your feedback motivates us to create more content that inspires and informs. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with others. Your support helps us continue to provide valuable insights. Thank you for watching, and here's to healthier mornings and a brighter future. Remember, small changes can lead to significant improvements in how you feel and live your life.